Hey everybody, this is Josh Spicer from KingWisdom.com with another video of the Darkest Dungeon Basics. We're going over each of the classes and some general guidelines for them. For this video, we're looking at the Houndmaster. The Houndmaster was a class added later into the early access period and has quickly become a favorite of a lot of people thanks to some high utility and being almost an off tank. So let's take a look. The Houndmaster's skills are all about being able to do from multiple positions. He's also great against beasts and causing bleed damage. Starting with Hound Rush, the skill, as you can see, does plus damage to beast types, causes bleed, and has a plus 80% damage versus marked enemies. He has a mark which we'll look at in a few minutes, but this will also proc off of the Arbalist, the Occultist, and the Bounty Hunter's marks. Hound's Harry, while it may be a very weak skill, as you can see, is the only damage-causing skill in the entire game that hits the entire enemy party. And it also does bleed damage on top of that. While it's not going to be a strong attack, being able to hit everyone can be a great way to finish off an enemy with a few drops of health left and start on another one. Target Whistle, another mark type skill. This one has the highest protection debuff out of all the classes in the game. As you can see, at level 24, it removes 27% resistance from an enemy. Do it twice, that's 52. That is strong enough to render most enemies who are protection heavy vulnerable to basic damage. And again, this will mark, so it will synergize with the Hound's Rush and other classes' mark-related skills. Cry Havoc, Stress Heal. While it may not look like it, the Stress Heal has a 65% chance to heal a character and will go through each member of your party, including the Houndmaster. While it's not as reliable as or as powerful as the Jester's Stress Heal, it's still one of the only few options of being able to do that. Guard Dog. This is where the Houndmaster's off-tankiness comes into play. Houndmaster has, as you can see from the left, a pretty high base for dodge compared to other classes, such as the Leper, Plague Doctor, etc. With his skill, where was he? There we go. With his skill, this not only gives him plus 15 dodge, but he will use this to basically take an attack that was focusing on someone else. Very similar to the protection of the Man-at-Arms class. While it doesn't mark him, the dodge buff will last a few turns, but the guard, I believe, goes away after one. This can be very useful to give the Houndmaster some added defense and get him to a point where it will become very hard for enemies to hit him. Lick Wounds, a self-heal, pretty basic, heals 7. Not the strongest self-heals in the game. The Leper has a really powerful one, and of course the Abomination has the strongest. But nevertheless, it's another tool in his bag of tricks. Last but not least, his only melee skill, Blackjack, does decent damage and has a very high stun base, especially when you compare it to other classes such as the Vestal, which you can see has a much lower one and does less damage. I believe the Occultist has the highest base damage stun. Yes. But the base isn't as good. Well, when it's level up, it'll probably be closer, but the Blackjack is still one of the highest and most reliable stuns in the game. Looking at the camp skills, again, these three are standard. Hound's Watch lowers chance of party surprise, raises chance of surprising monsters, and is a nighttime ambush counter. Not a bad skill. Therapy Dog reduces stress and protects against stress damage. Man's Best Friend reduces his own stress. And then Release the Hound. Plus 50 scouting chance. I believe this is one of the highest chances out of all the classes. We can double check that. This is plus 35. plus 30, so yes. This will give you the greatest chance of scouting and possibly finding secret rooms or getting a heads up about what's coming. So, let's talk about pros and cons, and then we'll look into quirks and items. The big advantage of the Houndmaster is definitely his versatility. He has attacks and skills that let him basically be in any position and target a wide variety of characters. He has both the ability to stun and cause bleed damage. He's really strong, obviously, against beast characters and synergizes very well with other mark-using classes. Not to mention, being able to heal himself and lower enemies' protection works wonders. Another really big advantage that you won't see here is the Houndmaster is the only class currently in the game who will get his own item that he can use during combat. The dog biscuits, or the dog treats, will give him a massive damage and critical boost for 4 turns. He can only use 1 per combat, but he gets 2 for the entire dungeon. This gives him a huge power advantage against fighting a really tough fight, if you get a shambler, or even the boss. And makes him also the highest damage dealer when that's happening. If you get a crit with like Hound Rush while the enemy is marked, with the biscuit, that is going to be probably one of the highest causing damage attacks in the entire game. Disadvantage of the Houndmaster, he's definitely more of a jack of all trades class. He doesn't do a huge amount of damage, doesn't do a huge amount of bleed, still pretty decent, but he's not going to be as good as other classes in terms of classes that are like more limited or more niche. Again, this is a good class to take if you need to fill a spot, because you can build a party around him very easily, just like the Highwayman, in my opinion. For quirks, remember, these skills, Hound Rush, Hound's Harry, are range based. So if you want to make use of them, or get advantages from quirks, you want quirks that will raise like the crit chance or the damage for ranged skills. His only melee ability is the Blackjack. One thing to keep in mind, the only position where he's at his weakest would be position 1. Because he only will have 1, 2, 3 skills that he can really use in that position. Everywhere else, though, he is pretty mobile. Of course, skills like Hard Skin are great on everybody, but Dodge is also really great to add to his already high dodginess. For trinkets, he has a few unique ones. Hopefully I still have them. I don't. Let's see. Was there one available in the wagon? Yeah. This is a really good one to get for him. It gives him plus damage and bleed skill. Just lowers the amount of heals he receives. You can also get trinkets that raise dodge, such as the Feather Crystal. Where was the other one that I had? Oh, here's another one from him. Adds stun chance, which with the Blackjack already being very high, will make it very easy for him to stun other enemies. He also gets whistles that will give him plus dodge and speed. And there's also one that increases his scouting chance when the torch is below 51. But still, you want to get trinkets that will raise his damage, like the Spike Collar, or those that will increase his dodge chance. But that is pretty much the Houndmaster in a nutshell. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them below. Make sure to check out the other videos here, as well as the Darkest Dungeon campaign run playlist. And of course, be sure to check out game-wisdom.com for posts and podcasts related to game design industry. And subscribe to me both on Twitch and Twitter under GWBlazer for updates for streaming and site-related issues. Alright, that will do it for this play of the Darkest Dungeon Basics. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.